Hey everybody, welcome back. Today's going to be a fun little video. We are going to be doing Mythbusters CMMG style. The myth we're either trying to bust or prove today is, should you store your magazines loaded? I am of the mindset that storing a magazine loaded doesn't hurt it. The constant compression and releasing of the spring is what hurts the spring. So much so, I grabbed this tote from home to do this video. This is a number of 5.56 magazines I personally have had for quite some time. I've got some green tips, I've got some Lancers, I've got some old Gen 1 PMAGs in here, and these have been stored, I will tell you 100%, a minimum of 7 years, because I know, and every one of these has been stored for a minimum of 7 years because that's how long I've been in my house. But let's take a look at some of these. No identifying marks. This is definitely a Gen 1 PMAG. Let's see, manufacturer date, 2 of 12. So I would say it's pretty safe to assume I had this thing loaded not too long after that. Another non-marked PMAG. This is manufactured also 2 of 12. Let's see here. We have another non-marked. Well, it looks like there might have been a time I was buying a lot of PMAGs, because this one is also 2 of 12. It's funny, I remember back in the day when I had like 2 or 3 PMAGs and not enough ammo to fill them. Now I have more PMAGs and enough ammo to fill them. Hey, another 2 of 12. So yeah, I think we're catching a trend here. I'm not going to dig through that. That's at least a 14-year-old magazine. I would say every bit of loaded for 10. Let's see what, well, as luck would have it, we got a couple of these here that the dust cover is not seated. So we definitely want to try one of those. This one looks like the dust cover has remained seated. So for those of you that aren't familiar with the dust cover on PMAGs, when you have it actually seated, it presses the rounds down into the magazine a little bit more, and it helps keep stress off of the feed lips. So we have a couple here that was loose, one that's tight. So these might operate differently. So I say we grab these 2 magazines. I grab my Ear Pro here, and I grab my trusty 5.56 DISSENT that I built, and we put these to the test and see if I'm full of crap or if you should keep your magazines loaded. Let's hit the range. Okay guys, we just made it over to the range. I have the 2 magazines that I grabbed. I am gonna start with the one that has the dust cover on it, because I have a feeling this one's gonna be just fine. Hopefully I'm not proven wrong. I am gonna go to full mag dump on both of these magazines, as long as they allow me. So go ahead and put that bad boy in there, and let's just let her eat. Locked open as it should. So that, I do feel maybe a little bit of swelling where it's tight in the mag well. Could also be the fact that I've got an old lower on this thing. So now I'm going to take the one that the dust cover was not intact, because that might have put some pressure on the feed lips. Nice. Chambered. And let's let her eat. Only thing probably slowed down there was my trigger finger got a little tired, but locked open as it should. There's 2 30-round magazines stored, I promise you, every bit of 10 years. And I had no problems. So I'm gonna say, keep your magazines loaded.